All right, folks, welcome. We're going to do a little bit of basic dimensional analysis. So we're just going to kind of figure out how to convert from units of one thing to units of something else. Little bit of putting that metric conversion to good use here. So just going to do a couple of quick examples, and hopefully that will give you a good idea of where we're going. So let's first start off with this number here. Let's say I have 90 milligrams per deciliter, and milligrams per deciliter is what blood glucose is usually measured in when you're taking blood work. This is what diabetics, they test all the time. So milligrams per deciliter is this measurement. So I want to convert this though to grams per milliliter. Okay, so I don't want milligrams and deciliters, I want grams and milliliters. So we're going to use this thing called a train track to set up our proportions to convert this number. So first thing you're going to do is you go, okay, I have 90 milligrams per 1 deciliter. You start that off on the left-hand side, and you're going to create what looks like a train track. And you're going to start converting. So you can start with either thing, milligrams or deciliters. I'm going to start with milligrams. So what I do is I go, okay, I need milligrams to be my units down here and my units that I want up top. That way my milligrams are going to be able to cancel out, cross-canceling. Okay, so I know 1 gram has 1,000 milligrams in it. So that's kind of see how I'm setting up my proportion here. But I'm going to take it out one step further because look, now I've canceled out my milligrams. I have, if I stopped right here, grams per deciliter. I don't want that. I want grams per milliliter. So let's take it one step further, one more train track, and these can get as long as you possibly want. So let's say, since I want deciliters to cancel out, they're going to be up top here, and milliliters is what I want, and that's going to be on the bottom. So that deciliters will cancel out like that, and I'll be left with grams and milliliters. So what's my conversion? Well, remember, deciliter is 10 to the minus 1 meters. A deciliter is 10 to the minus 1 liters, and milliliters is 10 to the minus 3. So I know that 1 deciliter is going to have 100 milliliters. Now, if you need to look this up or do your King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk to figure it out, that's totally cool. It might not be something that you do right away. So then what this is every time I have a line right here, it's like a multiplication sign. So it's like I'm multiplying 3 fractions together. So what you do basically is multiply all the top numbers together and then do divided by the product of all the bottom numbers. So I'm going to do 90 times 1 times 1, all divided by 1 times 1,000 times 100. And if I do that correctly, what I end up getting is 0.0009 grams per milliliter. Because look, I've not canceled out grams and I've not canceled out milliliters. Grams over milliliters. And that is my answer. Okay, if you didn't get this, check it again and just make sure that you do actually get that. If not, you can always ask me for help. All right, I'm going to do one more example. So let's say I have an object that is traveling at 500 meters per hour. And I want to figure out, well, how many kilometers is it going to travel per day? All right, this is pretty easy. You're going to set up your proportion again. You go 500 meters in 1 hour. You can, again, convert anything that you want to, but I'm going to start with the kilometers to meters. So meters will go down here because I want to cancel out. Kilometers will go up here, so meters will cancel. I know 1 kilometer has 1,000 meters. Okay, great. We still got one more thing, though, our hours. We need to cancel out and convert that to days. So there are 24 hours in 1 day. Hours are going to cancel out. We are left with kilometers and per day. All right. So again, multiply everything across, divided by the product of everything on the bottom. So basically 500 times 24 divided by 1,000. And that is going to end up giving us 12 kilometers per day. All right. Pretty easy way to do dimensional analysis. You can go from anything, any sort of conversion like that to any other units. Try it out. See if you can do ones that are really, really, really long. But again, if you're not getting those 2 answers that I got, check it again. make sure that you're entering it into the calculator correctly. You may have to put everything in here on parentheses and then divided by everything in here multiplied together in parentheses, if you see what I'm saying. So hopefully this helps you out a little bit.